Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac season 6 reunion part 1. So stay tuned. Alright you guys, so I'm not even going to lie to you. The beginning of the reunion was not giving me a whole lot. I was like a little underwhelmed, but you know how it is when they want to do 3 parts. They got to stretch it, and we ain't getting into until like the last 10 minutes. But you know what, it's all right. We here now. Let's go ahead and let's talk about it. The reunion starts off with kind of a little montage of the ladies through the years, and we get to talk about like who has the most change, who has had the least change, you know, who's done it for the better, who's done it for the worse. The Grand Dame has definitely had the most change when it comes to like aesthetically. We all know it. We've all seen it. Those wigs have stepped up, honey. RPG show must be doing something right. The hair doctor is doing something right, because she, for the most part, is on it, you know, a lot more. You know, I don't know if he did that braided wig last season. I pray not. Also, this little short pixie number, I still don't like that one. But overall, Karen's has been has been doing a lot better. And I will say, when you are a person in the beauty industry and the fashion industry that likes to take risks and likes to try different things, you're not always gonna get it right. You're not like, every look is not going to be a home run. You're not always going to get it right, but you take the liberty to change it up. So Mama Karen, Grand Dame Karen, has definitely changed the most. When they went through Monique's montage, Monique has been consistently beautiful, like consistently gorgeous through the entire years. Candace was okay. Some of her looks can be a bit wild and bushy, but you know, she has like a aesthetic, like a very pageant, big girl, big hair type of aesthetic through the whole time. Robin looked nice, honestly. I like her best with the short pixie. I think she looks the most stunning with that. I think the hair, anytime she has like long hair, to me it just kind of ages her. And Giselle, of course, looks a hot mess. Also, real quick, we did talk about the reunion fashions on my live stream a few weeks back. I'll link it up here on the card somewhere. But I want to retract one of my statements. In that live stream, I said that Robin looked like, I loved Robin's whole like look. I think she was like my number 2. Monique was my number 1, and then I think Robin was my number 2. After seeing Robin's hair, I'm going to retract the praises that I was giving her, because I understood what they were going for. It's a very advanced technique to get like designs in your hair with hair color. It is a very advanced technique to do, and it didn't look advanced. It didn't look high-end. It didn't look luxe. It didn't look purposeful, and it, like, I didn't see it in the picture of their looks. Like, you couldn't see all of that. Looking at it on camera, it does not read well at all. I saw a meme where someone was like, it looked like how printers look when they're running out of like toner. It just looked stripy. It just didn't look intentional. Meg Thee Stallion did one of those type of printed looks in the WAP video, and again, it's just, it has to look more intentional. Also, I think it's hard when you are putting yellow on top of blonde. It just makes it look brassy and mistakeful. So I did not like Robin's hair. I will retract my statement on that. So then we had a whole little section where they was just giving it to Giselle about her style. You know, Karen has been on Giselle's neck the entire season. Even they had a viewer question was like, when will Giselle just get a stylist? Like I mean, it is what it is. Giselle, you know you tacky. Like, you know you tacky. Andy asked Robin, and Robin was like, Andy, why would you ask me that? Because we want you to tell the truth about your tackiest friend. Okay? That's why. As a matter of fact, how good of a friend are you? You let her walk out the house like that, Robin. You need to start letting her know. Giselle, ma'am, no. And you know what? I want y'all to stay on Giselle's neck. Maybe next year she will actually learn to hire people. Hire a stylist. Hire one for your wardrobe, a new one for your hair, somebody for your house, like your car, like just get a life stylist. Just get somebody to just overhaul your entire life. And then of course we have to talk about Dr. Wendy, and they showed a montage of Wendy basically, you know, going in talking about her degrees that she doesn't brag about, but we've heard about in 15 of the 19 episodes from this season. And Giselle got called out for putting 20 on 10, running back to Wendy saying that Karen called her a floozy freelancer when Karen never called her a floozy at all. That was never what was said. And she got called out for it. And you know what? I just want to take a moment and talk about this because I'm glad they called this out. Giselle, we all know Giselle is a pot stirrer, and I know y'all love her because at the end of the day she's a necessary evil to keep the drama on the show. But it's stuff like this that aggravates me. Like, Ashley is a pot stirrer too, but Ashley tells you what was said. Ashley tells the truth. Giselle is going to put the most on it. And if y'all watched the Bravo chat room, which I do not watch it, honestly. The only reason why I went on, it was on my TV last night while I was, like, at the end of the night. You know, it comes on after Watch What Happens Live. And so it just happened to be on or whatever. And before I turned it, because I ended up turning it, I saw Giselle say something about Karen didn't want Wendy on the show because she felt like Wendy didn't fit in with the aesthetic of the show and they were the prettiest housewives. And let's just get this clear. Karen called her out on Instagram. I will insert the clips up here on the screen, basically letting you know that Giselle is a liar. Okay, bottom line, we're seeing it over and over again. Giselle is a liar. Giselle is lying, saying that Karen called Wendy a floozy anything. She's lying about Karen wanting Wendy off the show because she didn't fit in with the aesthetic. She's lying about her relationship with Jamal. She's lying about how her girls feel about that relationship. She's lying about her hair. Like, she's just a liar, and it is what it is. And if y'all don't see it, I don't know what to say. So then we get a little scene where, of course, we have to talk about Candace's remix to her song, and Andy's old shady butt basically asked her, like, well, how does it compare to Coffee and Cream, or what's the name of Ashley's little song? Coffee and Cuddles? Coffee and something, child. But how does it compare to that song? And of course, Candace takes the time to relish in, well, it doesn't compare. You know, we have actual producers, actual music. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Candace's song is way better than Ashley's song. But that, of course, starts a little bit of a kerfuffle betwixt and between Ashley and Candace. And they're just not here for it. And at some point, Ashley got super, like, butthurt because Candace said something about go over there with your husband and your son. Don't you talk about my child. And even Robin was like, well, she didn't say anything about your child. Like, I need y'all to stop. Like, I know mama bear syndrome, it's a real thing. You know, those claws come out. But there's a difference between mentioning your child and talking about your child. And Candace did not. Not being on Candace's side like that, but Candace did not. I'm just saying, Ashley, you're doing the most. Oh, so if we're looking at, like, the seating arrangements, the only thing is they had Robin on the wrong side. Robin should have been over there with, you know, her girlfriend. But, you know, the two people sitting next to Andy are like the big dogs. So, of course, you had the Grand Dame on one side and Giselle on the other side. And then It went down from there to like, then you had Candace and Wendy, and then Robin, Ashley, and Monique. So Robin should have been on that side, because it was definitely a clear divide in this season. You were either on this side or that side. I'm just saying. And of course, at one point we had a question from a viewer that asked about the word aggressive, and how the word aggressive is always put onto the darker skinned ladies of the cast, such as Wendy and Candace, and if that is a sign of colorism. And so it definitely sparked a debate on stage, and I want y'all to answer it. You know, we have talked openly about colorism here on this channel. Wendy basically said that Ashley knows what she's doing by using that type of language. She even said aggressive and used that stuff during the filming of the show. And she was saying that Ashley knows what she's saying and the history behind those type of words and the connotation, especially when directed to black women, or dark-skinned women specifically. Dark-skinned women are seen as more aggressive, more masculine, more domineering, and by using those words, it is a dog whistle, and a way to kind of slander and hurt darker skinned women on a deeper level. And so Andy asked the question, well, if you can't say, you know, aggressive or whatever, what word is acceptable to say? And when Andy asked that, you heard Monique was in the back, was like, what, hood rat, ghetto, which is kind of what sparks a little bit of an argument, because I'm gonna say, because these are words that were used to describe Monique and her behavior. You know, people were calling her hood rat and ghetto and all this kind of stuff. But it's okay. But that's okay. But it's not okay to say aggressive. And so I want to address that, because in my opinion, I feel like it is more derogatory to be calling someone a hood rat than it is to call someone aggressive. Also, don't get me wrong, being called aggressive it really can be a dog whistle in how things are portrayed. So we can always go back to the conversation on Basketball Wives with OG. I believe she's Nigerian woman, was called aggressive in her behavior. Meanwhile, Evelyn, a Puerto Rican woman who has legit got into multiple physical altercations, has not been called aggressive. That is definitely a clear cut instance of colorism. It's clear, it's blatant. Now, on this show, I'm not going to necessarily say that it's a clear cut. I'm not going to say that it's necessarily clear cut in that way, and the only reason why I'm going to say that is because I do feel like in the instance what they were in which they were speaking out, in the scenario in which they were speaking about, where Wendy did basically verbally attack Ashley because she felt some type of way that her child wasn't there. Wendy was the aggressor in that argument. She was. It has nothing to do with her being a dark-skinned woman. It has everything to do with the actions that she had. Or if we're talking about Monique and Candace, those are two dark-skinned women who got into an altercation, and Monique was definitely the aggressor in that altercation. Again, that has nothing to do with her being dark-skinned. It has to do with your actions in that moment. So I don't think that it's fair to try to make that a colorism issue. Now, do I feel like there has been colorism on Potomac before? I do. I do feel like that part of the end is that, you know, part of the being the end person, or the you know, is part of it is to be with the green-eyed bandits and to be with that kind of aesthetic and all that kind of stuff. I do feel like they definitely hold some undercarriage of colorism. I don't think it's anything blatant, and I don't even think it's anything intentional. Again, if back to the conversation that we had on the channel, I think that some things are so nuanced and so ingrained that you don't even realize that it is what it is. However, just because there is a somewhat underlying current of colorism within this cast, it does not absolve someone from their responsibility to their actions. So do I think that it's right to call Monique hood rat a ghetto? I don't think that that's right. I think that, like I said, I think that's more derogatory than saying aggressive. However, these are the actions that you did, and which and of course this is how people react to them. Do I agree? I don't agree, but those were your actions. Now, if they would have called you hood rat or ghetto because you I don't know, wore your bonnet to a scene or something like that, now that would be a bigger issue. But you're getting those type of comments because you got into a physical altercation with another person on this show. So you get what I'm saying? So it's like I'm working through it, y'all. I'm just trying to work through it with y'all. I want to hear y'all's thoughts on it. Do y'all feel like there is like heavy colorism on this cast? Do you feel like using the term aggressive is a colorist dog whistle? And like, again, when Andy asked, well, what should we use, there was no alternative word that Dr. Wendy could give him to say. She was like, well, there's many words in the vocabulary. Well, give us one of them. So this was your time to say, well, don't say aggressive, say passionate, say assertive, say, you know, whatever. That was your time to give alternate words that are comparable but also not hurting. So that's my thought. Y'all drop down in the comments, talk to me about that. Anyway, so then of course at the end of it, you know, we get on to Giselle, honey, and Karen was not letting up off her neck, and I was here for it. I'm sorry, y'all know I can't stand Giselle. It is what it is, and I want her to get her just desserts. Eat it. You get what I'm saying? So Karen was just like, so Giselle, what is this about your Jamal and him? You know, your dad said he had 6 or 7 babies, mama, and you know the word on the curb is that he got another woman pregnant while y'all were dating. So are you going to address that? Since you want to be in everybody else's business, are you going to talk about it? What you got to say, Giselle? And Giselle was sitting there with the pluck face and the turkey neck with nothing to say. Like, you are the main one who got all of this mouth, honey, but you have nothing to say about Pastor Holy Whore. And then when Monique opens up the binder, honey, and turned the page to Giselle and brought out the text messages that this alleged girlfriend had sent to her. And well, how do you know that it's Jamal who she was texting? And Monique proceeded to call out his number. It's his number. 555 ho. It's his number. 555 THOT. I'm just saying. And all Giselle could do was sit there and look crazy, because at the end of the day, we know this relationship is fake. And Jamal even said as much in these text messages. And now, if you are on the blogs like I am on the blogs, this is not your first time hearing about this young woman. This is not, you know, Monique didn't spill any new tea to us that have already been on here on the blogs. She came out months ago. She's another pastor. I want to say she's in Atlanta. And she actually did release those messages on a blog. I can't remember which blog, but maybe back in about September she released those messages. So this is not anything new that we have not already heard, and she has been very, very vocal. This pastor, I cannot remember her name, but she's been very, very vocal about Jamal, saying that this was all for a plot, that he is not seriously trying to be with Giselle, and they just trying to get to this money. And if you looked at their interactions through the season, you already knew that. That's why he lived in her phone. That's how she know his number off the top of her head, because honey, it just be in the phone. That's about all you know about Pastor Hole Whore. I'ma stop calling them that, but that's what Monique called them. And I just found it funny. And I just find it funny that Giselle has nothing to say. And notice, while Monique is coming here giving, between Karen and Monique sitting up here just tossing it back and forth to Giselle, Candace was the one that was more irate and upset about it than even Giselle was. Because Giselle's mouth was on stuck, because you know it's the truth. You can't argue the truth, Tacky. You can't. You can't argue the truth. Candace, sit. Shut up. We know that you don't see it for Monique. We know you don't like Monique. Wait on y'all's turn. Don't worry, it's coming. But don't try to sit up here and stick your neck out for Giselle in this fake relationship when Giselle ain't even sticking her neck out for her own fake relationship, because it's fake. That's it, y'all. That was really it about this episode, this reunion, this part 1 of the reunion. I want to see the receipts, and Monique is bringing them. Okay, Monique is bringing them. I want to see how is Giselle going to lie her way out of this one. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting up here talking about how you and Jamal are together, and y'all are working it out, and the girls, y'all have since had a conversation, or they have since had a conversation sans you, and they're in a better place. You can tell all that lie to somebody else, honey, because don't nobody believe it. And the pluck on your face when Monique was reading those text messages and serving the shade lets me know right there all I need to know about your relationship with Pastor Holy Whore. I'm here for it. Alright, y'all, that's the end of this review. Make sure you drop down in the comments and tell me your thoughts on this reunion part 1. Again, I don't think it was given a whole lot. I hope it gets a little bit better in part 2. I want y'all to continue to dig all up in Giselle's butt. I didn't even care to talk about this fight, because I feel like we have ran this fight to death. If you give me 2 more parts of just dogging Giselle, I would actually be okay with it. But alright, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here because I got 2 more videos to record for y'all. So let me go. Peace.